Take it
Well,
away.
folks, welcome back to episode 14. Dave, how you feeling? You was just burping and farting.
I don't know. I'm a little indigestion here going on.
Eh,
I'm bloated the past couple days for
he's
whatever reason.
bloated. He's
Yeah.
bloated.
Um.
Well, what
It,
we're gonna get into some topics. We got like 4 topics tonight,
we do. It's
so we
getting
can't
that.
be too long winded on every one.
That's fine. We got.
All right.
It's getting that time of year. But real quick, I didn't tell you this,
Oh
but
no, here we go.
yep. I
Surprise me
went.
again.
I went online about an hour ago, and I ordered like 10 bags. It's almost the same, like the size of like a standard soul sample bag,
Okay.
but they're for plant tissue analysis.
Oh, okay.
So I want to get into plant tissue analysis this year.
Does the same lab that does your soil test that?
No, I actually went to Ward Ward Labs.
Word lab. Hmm.
They water testing, soil sampling, tissue analysis, and all that. And I want to do some testing with clover because I'm going to have my clover plot, and I want to test just the clover, and then I want to do some foliar feeding with some fertilizers and stuff like that and micronutrients, and I want to test it after it's sprayed, and I
Gotcha.
want to show the difference in tissue analysis because as most people know, in order to grow bigger deer, it's all about the soil. you know the soil gives it to the plants and plants give it to the wildlife.
Hmm.
So I'm just going to do some before and after on plant tissue. It's something I always wanted to get into, and I'm going to do it this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see they'll have a breakdown of everything for you.
100%. It'll show you. It's a micronutrient panel in
Mm,
there.
mhm.
The magnesium, molybdenum, cobalt, zinc, copper, and your NPKs and
Say Molly Bendham again.
molybdenum.
Okay, speaking of breakdowns,
Yes. What do you got?
let's talk about bag tags.
Hmm.
Not the one you're thinking, bang,
Right.
hit somebody in the groin. No,
I got
I'm talking about the tags that's
I,
on
I got
what? What do
busted.
you got?
I got
Busted lip.
busted in my lip yesterday. A ladder
You
popped me
mouthed
right.
off to somebody and they knocked you.
Yeah, I got beat up.
The tags on the bags of your
Hmm.
seed.
Yeah.
All right. There's a few things we want to go over.
Here we go.
Suggested planting rates and suggested recommendations, fertilizer wise and things like that.
Hmm.
What do you got? What do you got? What do you think?
Well, you said
What do you think?
tags, so I had to.
You got a
I
seed
showed.
tag there?
Yeah. So
So
just
what's it tell you? Tell
for
everybody
instance.
what it tells you on a tag.
Yep. On this particular one, it says location full sun, open areas, well drained, pH 5.5 to 7. That's a big range. Um, well drained soil, dark, rich, sandy, clay, tilled, plowed, disked, hand raked. Fertilizer recommendation: 100 pounds of triple 10 per acre. Then it says plant May through July in the north, May to August in central, and June to September in the south.
Mm, mm,
That's a wide range.
it
So what
is.
exactly does this mean for the planter?
Right. Now, other companies have different type tags
Yeah.
and there's a plethora of information on some of them, and
Hmm.
it could be confusing at times,
Yeah.
but some of them have like zones and places, like I don't know. You know what zone you live in? I do not. I'm
I
sorry.
think 5, 6.
I
I
have
think
no
zone 6.
idea. But they talk about these zones and you know, I
I think you're
actually and
you're in.
I'm not gonna mention it. I'm not gonna mention a name, but you and I talked about this, so you're gonna recognize what I'm gonna say.
Mhm.
There was a fella on Facebook, and I get my stuff from Facebook a lot of times because it's entertaining. A guy said, "Hey, is it too late to plant clover and chicory?"
Mm.
And this guy from a very reputable company shot him
Mhm.
a message back and said that he was a week late on the planting date that was on the back of his seed tag
Yeah.
on his bag.
He worked for the company,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like so
I
blown
remember that.
away because everybody's frost seeding right now or last week, and it it's like do or die time right now for
Mhm.
frost seeding because it's
Yeah.
about to warm up. It's not going to freeze anymore.
For where we're at in the
Yeah,
Northeast here.
yeah, in our zone,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
shouldn't
Yeah.
have said zone,
Guys
but
up in the north,
yeah,
out in the north central, whatever, they still
in
got.
our area of PA
Yeah.
and you're in the Maryland area
Yeah.
stuff,
It's do or
in
die.
this area, it is do or die. But
Frost seeding
anyhow,
wise.
yeah, this guy was from like I think from Minnesota
Mm.
that was asking, and the guy that answered him worked for this company, and he's from down south somewhere. But
Mhm.
he told him, yeah, you're like a week out too late, and people were lighting him up. Like, what? What are you talking about? Everybody's planting
Yeah.
clover and chicory right now, you know?
Well, for instance, with that, I mean, heck, for us here, the planting dates, it says in the north, May to July. How
Yeah,
much temperature change are you going to get from May to July where we live? A
yeah.
lot.
It's probably gonna increase at least
Oh,
20 degrees, at
wait,
least minimum,
more. Yeah,
you
minimum.
know?
It's just a general recommendation.
It's just very general, and it's a safe recommendation. I
Mhm.
mean, they wanna make it foolproof because, I mean, who wants to look like a dummy? Nobody. So they just put general information out there
Mhm.
because you can't tell a guy from Florida what you're going to tell a guy from northern New York.
Yeah.
It just don't work that way.
Yeah, I mean, you live there, so you know best, and you need to know your temperature, and don't go by like I always say, dude, don't even look at the seed tag, like
No.
the time frame. It just you need to realize that majority of seeds need if you're planting annuals in the spring, that needs warm temperatures. You can't have frost, you can't have snow, it's got to be,
Yeah.
in the 60s and 70s in the daytime, and your soil temperatures need to be in the mid 50s, upper 50s, low 60s for to get things to grow.
Yeah. And I saw a lot of guys uh, broadcasting seed on snow this year.
Yeah, I did too.
I'm not into that at all.
Nah,
Not at all.
it's one of them. I think it's another one of them trend things where it's looks cool to do, I guess. I see it if you have snow and you have patches of grass and it's like literally melting that day. But if you have snow on there and you get a meltdown and it turns to that ice, you're just gonna and then it thaws again, you're just gonna get runoff.
Yeah.
Why do it in the snow? Just wait.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Just
make sense.
no. No, because obviously, if you still have snowpack on the ground,
Hmm.
you're not done getting frost.
Right.
So you've got some time left. I don't
Well,
know
it makes
why
it
people are doing that because it's a big risk. It
it's a
really
trend.
is.
Yeah. I mean, it makes it more susceptible to birds pecking the
Oh,
seeds
for
out too.
sure. I mean, yeah, they could probably see it from the sky. You
Hmm.
know,
Oh, they can see it.
it's an attractant at that point.
Turkeys too, man. They find that seed.
Oh my.
They'll wipe you out.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure, for
I want
sure.
to I want to jump into like also the seed tags, but the fertilizer recommendations it has on there. Um,
Yeah, that's hard. I mean, there again, a general information,
yeah,
one size fits all recommendation
yeah. Like
just to
this
be
here
safe.
is Egyptian wheat. They're calling for 100 pounds of triple 10, but I mean, how do you know? I mean, you could add 100 pounds of that per acre, and you might not even need it.
Right,
So
correct, correct.
you just wasted money. I know for like Brassica's typical bag might say like 300 pounds of triple 19, and we all know how much triple 19 is.
Yeah. Well,
You
here's my
might not.
biggest this is my biggest argument with that,
Yeah. Hmm.
um, is a soil test, you can buy
20
anywhere
bucks.
between 9 to $12, somewhere
Hmm.
in that range, and it might cost you $5 to send it away.
Yeah.
So you're still under 20 bucks. A bag of fertilizer costs almost $30 now.
Yeah, I bought a bag of triple 19 a couple bags of triple 19 last year. It was $38.
Yeah, it's nuts. So why not do the soil test, do it right from the start,
Hmm.
and know what you need to add.
Yeah.
It'll make the recommendation for you. It'll
Yeah.
tell you what you need.
Yeah, everybody needs to ignore the stuff on the side. They have to put that on there as a general. It's
Yeah,
I think they
for
might even
sure,
have to put it on there by law. I don't
for
know, but
sure.
it's literally a general recommendation.
The two things that I look at most on a seed tag, obviously, was when the date,
Test date, yeah.
the test date that's on it, and the
Hmm.
ingredient, what's
Yeah.
in it.
So
You know,
this
I want
here,
I want to know if there's noxious seed in it.
yeah,
I want to know how much coatings on it, which that's a whole nother ball of wax too. You know, I had some guy
ball
attacking
of
me.
wax.
Yeah, I had this guy attacking me, telling me, "Oh yeah, well, the seed you use is covered with all, you know, anywhere from 35 to 50% coating."
Hmm.
And I was like, "Well, show me show me a brand that doesn't coat their seed. There is some out there, but majority of it out there is coated."
Yeah.
And that just ensures that you get proper germination, and there might be a pesticide on it, it might
Well,
be an
there's a
insecticide on it, there's
yeah,
inoculation on it.
right.
It just gives you more assurance that it's going to be a good germinating seed. And I get what he's saying. He's
Hmm.
saying, you're okay if it's 50% coating, you're getting half the seed that,
Right.
say that jug's 3 pounds, you're only getting a pound and a half of seed, and the rest is coating. I understand what he's saying. I really
Yeah,
do.
there's a lot of controversy with the seed coatings. Some people say it helps. Some people say it doesn't. I don't really care because you throw a seed out, you follow the proper methods, it's going to grow.
Yeah.
Um, but this here, I was looking at it. It's tested 121. It's just an old bottle that I had, but
Hmm.
the germination now, this is not bad seed. It's just the germination on it's going to be a lot lower than what it was back in
Well, and
2021.
actually, if you keep it in a cool, dry
Yeah.
place, the seed's not going to go necessarily bad.
No, you just
Uh,
lose a little bit of germination.
yeah, and I don't even know. I I never really did a seed test. I don't know about you. Did you ever do a germ test? I never really did
I did.
because I
I
don't
think
keep seed more than a second year.
I don't really either, but I had some sitting around. I think it was actually this. I just took a napkin and wet
Yeah,
wet the napkin, put it in the window,
right.
and I mean, I think I counted out 100 seeds in there,
Oh boy.
and like 98 of them sprouted.
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
don't. I really don't think that it affects it that much.
hmm,
If it's cool, dry place,
yeah,
I literally keep mine in an old refrigerator out in the
yeah,
pool building.
yeah, you can do that.
The refrigerator's on. I mean, it's not like
Hmm.
it's unplugged or anything, but
Yeah.
it's actually cold.
Hmm.
So I throw it on the bottom shelf of the refrigerator, and I've never had an issue with seed. Like I said, though, I don't ever keep it more than 2 years.
I don't really either. This is just an extra one I had
Now
laying around.
I did buy seed that I spread, and it never germinated. I did have that issue, and I called the company, and they did not take responsibility for it.
Hmm.
So, and nor did they offer me anything in replacement or discount or anything in that matter, which I wish they would have, because it was a company that I've used in the past and I thought highly of them until
Hmm.
this point. I kind of thought they would offer something, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, speaking of soil samples, I got mine this past weekend,
Hmm.
and I got two of them, and I sent those actually out today. Filled all the paperwork, sent them out, and I'll be should have those emailed them to me, and I'd say by Monday next week.
Yeah, I'm going to wait a little bit here. I think next week it's supposed to be in the 60s every day that
Hmm.
next week
Yep.
coming. So I may do it then because I'm still a little bit wet here.
Yeah.
And
It was.
actually, tonight they're calling for 100% chance of snow and going down to 19 degrees.
Yep. Yeah.
So the last hurrah tonight and tomorrow is supposed to be the only next two frost nights.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. We should
Yeah.
be. We're getting in. Well, shoot. Next couple of days will be April, so things will be warming up, greening up here.
Yep. Yep.
Um.
Actually, I got a video. By the time everybody sees this, a video will be out of
Yeah.
my frost seeding uh, time that I had this weekend.
Yep, I did that as well. Frost seeded comeback kid.
That's a little
Um,
bit too, yeah.
changing gears here.
What do you got?
Um, I want to talk about seed companies and um domain. Reason being is there's always somebody that has some kind of weird something to say. But a guy commented on YouTube and said it said domain is not the best seed company, and I it was kind of off topic from the video because the video wasn't really anything about domain seed company. And excuse me, and I responded back to him. I said, "Well, what are you talking about? I never said Domain was the best seed company. Literally never said that." Um, but I want to explain that is yeah, is like we use Domain seed. They're am I, are we saying they're the best? No. Is there a
Never said
bet?
it.
No.
Yeah,
Is there a better company out there than Domain? Maybe,
could
probably.
be. I don't know.
I I don't know. The reason we use them, what we have always said is that we like the mixes they have.
Yeah,
They make sense.
they
They're
do
not
make sense.
they're not like ryegrass, and they're I feel like each blend has like a purpose, I guess.
Yeah, they kind of
Um
complement each other. I mean, obviously,
yeah,
what they have mixed together should go together.
right. And so I like their mixes. So I never said they were the best. I like the company. I like the Mike and Tim. What's the other Riley and
Jake
Jake.
Spencer.
Never met the guys. I've had a lot of conversations with them. Um, and this will be like the third year I think using them. So I just wanted to clarify that is never said they were the best. I plant most of the blends they have. I've always had good success and
Yeah,
and all that. And then there's a lot of companies now or people that's saying that their seed is they're literally say my seed is the best. Our seed is the best. Well,
well, that's a sales pitch.
it is. It's a sales pitch, and I want to clarify that by saying just because there's a famous person or whatever marketing a seed, okay, doesn't make that seed some kind of magical seed. When these small independent seed companies sell,
And there's a lot of them popping up now
yes, when they
because
sell,
that's the new thing.
yeah, when they sell
Everybody wants to
seed,
get into food plots.
yep, when
I'm
they sell
sorry.
seed, yeah, you're good. When they sell seed, it's they have to buy that seed in bulk from a grower.
Yeah,
Most all these companies are buying it from the same grower. The
yeah.
same grow.
There's if I had to guess, I don't know how many there are, but I know of at least three.
I'm sure I
There's
mean,
probably
yeah,
more,
there's more.
but a lot of the seeds are coming across, the nation,
Yeah,
and a lot of it's coming from the same places.
yes.
And
So
the guys are
these,
making mixes
yes,
out of their seeds.
yeah. So they buy it from a bulk distributor, a grower, and
Hmm,
then
hmm.
they can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah,
Um, the reason that the companies are there, obviously, they're a business. They make you know the, they make their profit and make their money. But most food plotters doesn't need a 50-pound bag of brassicas. So
I
like
didn't know
I
that.
know where you're at. You got the company down the street from you where we
Yeah,
could go in there and we could buy a half pound of this, half pound of this, half pound of this. There's not that many places around that do that. And
right.
where I live in Maryland, there is zero places that I can buy like individual food plot seed to where I
Yeah,
can mix it myself. So if I wanted a blend of brassicas and I only needed 3 pounds, what do I do? I'm not buying 50
yeah.
pound bags of three different types of brassicas and mixing them.
See, even our Tractor Supply and our family farm and home up here has the bins with a scoop and a bag. You
Ours
can
does
take
not.
a you can take a bag and take a scoop and they'll weigh it
Yep.
and charge you. You know, even we even have that up here,
I have nothing of the sort.
which is pretty handy.
It is. But that's why the companies are there, because the way, bulk seed comes, 50-pound bag, you can buy a 50-pound bag of oats, wheats, rye. Um,
Well, that's why earlier I alluded to. I shouldn't have said it like this, but I said, show me the seed that's not coated." I know there is some out there, but the majority of these companies that are pushing seed, most of their seeds are coated because they're coming from those big growers and they're ordering them in bulk and divvying them up into blends, like you're saying.
yeah, yeah. So that's kind of my little vent or rant about that is, you know, see, it's not important on the person that's selling the seed. It's more important of what's in the bag.
Hmm.
It doesn't need just because a certain person pushes a seed doesn't make that seed more special. It's all coming, all these companies are buying it from the same place. Now there are certain situations where they're getting, these specialty varieties now, that such as like these hybrid brassicas that they're getting. And but again, that hybrid brassicas coming from the same grower. You know what I mean? Where these little independent companies are buying it from.
Yeah.
So look at the bag, look what's in it, make sure it makes sense. Look at the test date when you're buying it. And if you go to, like Tractor Supply or these mom and pop stores, look at the tag itself. Obviously, the audio people can't see this, but look at the tag, because I've seen it where if you go into like Tractor Supply, the company will send another sticker.
Another label. Yep.
So there'll be two or three
Yep.
labels
With a new date on it.
with a new date on it.
And the seed's probably 3 5 years, 3 to 5
Yes.
years old, and they keep
Yes.
putting a new sticker on the bag.
Yes.
There's a store around me that likes to do that. I
Yeah. So
won't
be
mention it, but
so for the people listening,
it's a chain
and
store.
and you can't see, just look at the bat. Look at
See how thick the labels are.
yeah. If you see multiple tags on there, stickers,
Yep.
realize that
Buyer
seed
beware.
is, you know
Yeah.
a 2, 3, 4 years old seed,
Right.
because the company just sends them a new label, because if they don't sell seed, what do you do with it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not just going to throw it away.
Right.
So they just resell it, and it may be a cheaper price. So I've seen it a lot of times too, where you go in there, it'll say like clearance,
Yeah. Half
you know,
price or something.
half price or something, and that's the reason, is because they probably have another tag on there,
Yeah.
and it's a few-year-old seed.
Well, the other thing you touched real shallowly on there was what's in the mix.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff doesn't make sense. Like some of these mixes have like sugar beets in it or something. Well, sugar beets likes to be alone.
Hmm.
Sugar beets don't like to be planted with anything else. It competes, or something like a something that grows high, like a cowpea or something that's in a clover blend. It
Yeah.
don't have anything to climb. It's just going to go up and wilt over or something. I mean, some of the stuff, yeah, you got to watch. Someone will pick up the bag and be like, "Oh, this has cowpeas in it." Well, yeah, it does, but like maybe 1% of the bag is cowpeas. And anyhow, what are you doing trying to grow a cowpea with clover or something? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Some of the stuff just don't make sense out there. And
Yeah.
it's just like they instead of adding ryegrass as filler, they put cowpeas in it instead. I
Hmm.
mean, it just some of the stuff you just buyer beware.
Yeah, it's with anything. And I mean, like I said, so there's a lot of good companies out there, and there's a lot of bad seed companies. There's a lot of them though. So
Yeah.
who do you buy it from? Well, whoever you feel comfortable with buying it from.
Yeah, right.
If
Yeah, and that how else do you know though if you don't, you might have to try something.
yeah, just be aware that, you know, the seed, these companies again are getting it from the majority of the time from the same grower,
Mhm.
and then they're doing their thing with it. They're mixing it themselves. They're putting the blends together, and then they're selling them. Um,
Well, and that's where like throw and grow. like really hook, line, and sinker to everybody, because they threw this seed out and it germinated in 3 days and it was green,
Mhm.
but it was ryegrass,
Right.
and you know you learn your lesson quick after you plant that stuff,
Mhm.
and
Well, um, I was in Tractor Supply, and I can't remember the brand. I'm not gonna say it anyway, but there was a brand there that had like 57% ryegrass,
mm,
and it was
mhm,
being sold at a even higher amount than like a legit seed blend.
right,
And it's a way for the company to sell it at a premium price with the least amount of valuable seed in it.
hmm,
For the cheapest amount of seed at a higher, you know what I mean?
right.
So you just have to, like you said, buyer beware.
Well, and their marketing in their bag was probably pretty as heck, though, huh?
It was. It actually had a famous celebrity TV hunter on it,
Okay.
and it was 57% ryegrass.
And it probably had a picture of a buck this wide on it
It
somewhere on
did.
the bag.
It did.
Yep. Yep.
Yep, it's just marketing. You just have to, like I said, just because a famous person sells a seed, markets a seed, or there's a person on the bag or a giant buck on the bag, doesn't mean a thing. Read the label and even call the company. Call the people and talk to them. And
Yeah.
um, I'm sure I'm getting a lot of questions regarding domain, and you can even call them. You call Mike, call Tim, message them on Facebook, ask them like, "What's up? Where's your seed come from? You know, what kind of blends do you have? Look at their website, and let call around to different places, and you be the decision on make decision yourself where to get it from."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of worry sometimes, though, like up here in the north, and if I order something from Florida, is it, you know, but there again, they're ordering it from the same people. So really, it's coming from all over the place,
Hmm.
so you don't really have to worry about that. Like, oh man, I'm buying Southern seed. It's only going to germinate somewhere warm, No, that's not the case at all.
Well, you just got to look at the blend, see what's
Yeah.
in it.
Yep. Got to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only way to gauge that is a little trial and error, or know somebody that tried it, and if you can trust them to take their word on it.
Well, for the amateur person, the amateur food plotter, I think we talked about this a few episodes ago, is like trigger words,
Yeah.
excitable words, for a person that doesn't know, they're going to see a bag of seed with a giant buck on it, and they're going to buy it.
Well, let me just discourage somebody that's new to ask those questions on Facebook forum style.
Yeah, yeah.
Do not do that to yourself.
Hmm.
Ask somebody that you know and you trust, and plants well and gets good results. Don't ask on Facebook a silly question like that, like what kind of seed should I use? Because you're going to get some pro staffer or somebody that's pushing this one blend or this one brand, and they're going to tell you use this XYZ. It's the best, you know,
Yeah,
and
and
they're paid to say that,
yeah,
you know.
and there's other things in that too. Is I can ask a question. Hey, I live in Maryland. What can I plant?
Yeah, it's so
I don't,
vague.
I don't know. How big's
It's
the plot?
Yeah,
What's your soil like? Where are you planting it at? Is it next to ag? Is it in big woods? How many deer? You know what I mean?
yep,
So somebody to make a recommendation, just saying, "Hey, I live in North Carolina. What do I plant?" I
yeah.
don't freaking know. I
Well,
have no idea.
here's the other good one I've been seeing a lot lately was, hey, what is the best fertilizer for clover?
Mm,
Like that's not a loaded question.
hmm.
There's so many variables.
Triple 19.
Yeah, 300 pound of it per
Right.
acre.
Right.
And well, that's the
Uh
type of
oh.
recommendations you get.
I said triple 19.
Yeah.
Fertile nitrogen on clover. Uh-oh.
Oh, well, don't you know you don't need nitrogen on clover because clover makes its own nitrogen.
Yeah, let's mention that real quick. I don't think we've.
We haven't beat anybody up on that lately.
Yeah, let's do that real quick.
All right, let's bloody somebody's nose here.
For the next couple minutes here, clover does produce nitrogen.
It
Um,
it will.
it it fixes nitrogen. There's a lot that goes on for that to actually happen, though. So whatever it is, 45, 60, 70, 80, 90 days process, those clovers starts developing nodules on the roots.
Hmm.
Those nodules is what produces nitrogen. Now, when you stunt that plant by, say, mowing it, or you have deer that's actually eating it, it stimulates those nodules to release nitrogen.
Correct.
So a lot of people, when they say they plant clover and just a bare seed, they throw it out and said, "Oh, my clover's produced." No, it's not. How can a seed produce? It's got to grow.
Yeah.
So basically, all plants, when you get them going, like you say, some sort of starter fertilizer,
Hmm.
adding a little bit of nitrogen in the beginning is a
Yes.
is not a bad thing
No.
on clover because it takes time for that clover to actually produce nitrogen.
Yeah, it'll help it get out of the ground quicker
Yeah,
and start to get established faster.
right.
And that was one of the answers that was given when the person vaguely threw that out there. What's the best fertilizer to add to clover? And the
Hmm.
first comment came back, or the very first comment said uh, something with low to no nitrogen because clover makes its own. Well,
Hmm.
yeah, it will eventually,
Yeah.
but we don't know if the person asking the question meant he's going to be planting clover, he's going to be frost seeding clover, if he had established clover. So you can't even answer that question until the asker actually clarifies, what are
Hmm.
you doing?
Yeah.
What exactly are you doing? I hate those vague questions because then every expert comes out of the corner with some off the wall explanation of what they
Hmm.
should do.
Yeah. I mean, it just a little bit of nitrogen on planting. It could be like, just for instance, it could be like a 5, 15, 15, or like a 6, 20, whatever it is. But
Something.
yeah, just a little bit in there. It's not
Yep, gotta
not a
have
bad
something.
thing. Yeah.
Gotta have something.
Yeah, and those nodules develop. I mean, it could be, it really depends on like the soil quality, on how soon those nodules start producing. But again, like I said, as the deer are taking bites of it, or you mow it and you stunt, that clover for a minute, it stimulates it to actually produce its nitrogen to make it grow.
Hmm.
So it's pretty cool how that works. But yeah, nodules, got to have nodules for it to
Yeah.
produce nitrogen, and clover is good. Like if
Yeah,
you
and
plant.
there's a whole lot of stuff you could talk about when you talk about mowing clover. Yeah.
Hmm.
How low do you mow it? How often do you mow it? Should you mow it?
Hmm.
You know, we should probably do a whole segment on clover mowing sometime,
We should. We can do chemical application too
you know,
with clover.
but maybe in the future. But
Yeah.
we are just about out of time on this episode, Dave.
Yeah. Real quick, did you know I was famous again?
I knew that, but does the viewers and the audio
It,
people
w-
know that Dave's famous again?
I'm not famous. We make a joke about it, but
But you're
anybody,
famous.
I'm actually curious if anybody's listening or watching. Have you Are you subscribed to Deer and Deer Hunting magazine? If you are, you will see me in that magazine. And I'm curious. I want people to comment to see. I'm just curious on how many people actually read their magazine. Um, but I'm in there, so I'm not going to say why. But if I'm in there and
I'm
you
keeping.
read that, if you somebody reads it, leave a comment and tell us what it is. What is it about? But I'm in there, Deer and Deer Hunt magazine.
Yeah. Yep. And comment whether or not you think Dave's famous.
Yeah, yeah, famous.
Ah,
Thanks for listening,
oh,
guys.
that cracks me up.
Good podcast today, and number 14,
Number
and
14's in the book.
um, we'll see you guys on number 15 next week. So hope everybody has a great week, and Thanks for listening.
Yep. Get over and subscribe to these channels.
Later, Gator.
See ya.